Halloween has come and gone, but true All Hallows Eve enjoyers know that there's never a bad time to talk about the holiday. So let's talk about pumpkins and rabbits. Our heroes and/or victims are Ralph, Paco, Jay, and Dino. Our antagonists are Lorenzo and Rachel Waterman, aka Pumpkin Rabbit and Witch Sheep. There are other characters, of course, but they're tertiary and I'm moving on. Something I want to praise about our victims is that they aren't stupid. They are very smart and very cautious, but they're still children at the end of the day. Being smart doesn't mean you stop having a weight of 90 pounds when it rains, so when faced with a 200-pound dry adult makes for a very one-sided splash fight. But I don't want to trudge through that swamp right now. It's all water under the bridge for me. I instead want to dive in and fish up why I think the Pumpkin Rabbit is terrible at his yearly hobby. I'm only mildly sorry for the water puns. Come, warm yourself by the fire. There's a killer out there, you know? Now, one thing I really want to praise are the subtitles. The audio is hard to understand in places, and just listing who's talking is so nice. And I want to draw attention and appreciation to that. Kudos to Walten Files for doing that. It's really hard to just subtitle something sometimes, but I want to give respect where respect is due. So if you've watched this video, I'm going to assume you've watched The Return of the Pumpkin Rabbit. And you might have some questions like I did. Like, why did Ralph go after his ball, knowing it was a terrible idea? Well, if we see the previous video, Halloween plush commercial, we can see this line right here. Looks expensive, I'm sure he'll want it back. And again in the second video, we can see this by Witch Sheep, an object of great sentimental value. So this was likely an expensive gift from his parents, and since he is still a child that threw it in a fit of anger, it unfortunately makes sense he would wander into the Waterman's pumpkin patch, complete with Pumpkin Rabbit. This leads me nicely to the Pumpkin Rabbit, and why he's kind of inept. First off, he lost to Jay, who is literally in his grasp. What is that called if not being bad at your one hobby? Literal skill issue. Secondly, he shows weakness. I don't mean an emotional or relatable kind, one he might share with his wife during dark hours or in moments of quiet reflection. I mean he just got glassed by an 8-year-old and it caused him physical duress kind. This scene, unironically, is how the Pumpkin Rabbit spirals into losing. It's easier to tell when the subtitles are on, but Jay giving him a fresh shot of protagonist on the rocks jostles his mask, and his gleeful murderous laughter stops as suddenly as it starts. He's clearly not harmed by it, but considering how long it takes him to chase after a little girl that only ran 2 rooms away, it clearly affected him. Why else would he be stunned for so long? And I'm confident in saying this. Nay, I'm downright certain, because in the final battle, Jay knocks his mask off, and he can't stop gasping for breath. Being without his mask is clearly traumatic to this memory demon, and that's exploitable. The other weakness is asking Jay to give back the book. She had no reason to think it was something super important to the Watermans, aside from the obvious thing of it being their fucking picture book. But now this blatantly supernatural creature, this monster, is bargaining. Not just bargaining, he even says please, and asks nicely. The Pumpkin Rabbit is inept because his weaknesses are open, easy to exploit, and incredibly powerful when wielded against him. And his wife isn't better either. She somehow lost her grip on a 8-year-old or 12-year-old little girl, and then didn't do anything to get the picture book back. Another thing I quickly want to talk about is that I keep seeing folks comment that he wore Ducky's skin to lure Paco into the bedroom, or that he used Ralph's severed head to trick Jay into opening the cupboard. And none of these ideas work. For starters, where would he have gotten their names from? There's no scene showing Lorenzo in earshot of the kids, just the picture from the house, which we see. As for Ducky's skin, I just... What? How do you come to this conclusion? The Watermans pretty obviously just used Ducky's trapped soul to lure Paco. Ralph's head also doesn't work, because here's Ralph's not ripped apart face staring Jay down, and here's Ralph's face about 3 minutes ago. Plastic surgery can do a lot, but it doesn't put Lorenzo's eyes in Ralph's head. He's very clearly controlling Ralph's soul. Can we stop inventing off-screen body horror? That probably shouldn't be at the end of the video.